Hello guys! Welcome to our English class. I am Miss Kyla and this year I will be your teacher. I am from the English Department of Upper BICUTAN National High School. Today, we will open the discussion with the first topic under Module 1, and that is text types. Before we proceed to the discussion, we have to first know the objective. The learning objective for this lesson is to manifest understanding of the different text types. From time to time we encounter text. We read from novels, magazines, newspaper articles, or even journals. But when reading, our main focus is to understand what is printed on the material. We have never even considered what type of text material we are dealing with. This lesson and discussion will help you identify the 5 major text types in language. While you're watching this video, you might want to grab a pen and take note of what you learn. Before we discover the different text types, we have to first define the word text. What is a text? Texts are words in a written work. In linguistics, texts are the original words of something that is written, printed, or spoken. These are the written words in printed materials, or could also mean as the exact words of a speech. Text types depend on their purpose, structure, and language features. Today, we will classify text type materials according to their purpose and meaning. Are you ready? The first text type is a narrative text. A narrative text tells a story which could either be fiction or non-fiction. Its purpose is to entertain, to instruct, and to inform the readers by telling a story. For you to understand what is a narrative text, we have to group them according to fiction and non-fiction narrative text. Under fiction, we have fairy tales, novels, science fictions, fables, and myths. For non-fiction narrative text, we have articles, newspaper reports, and historical writings. Do you now understand narrative text? If yes, then let's now go to the descriptive text. This is a text type that gives information to its readers by using vivid, colorful, and detailed description of something. It expresses feelings or emotions which uses the reader's 5 senses. It also creates image on the reader's minds. In a descriptive text, the author describes something from their own experience, and through careful choice of words and phrasing, they make it seem like it is real. The purpose of a descriptive text is to create a clear image in a reader's mind. The third text type is a directive text. These are those texts which contains directives, commands, instructions, and even rules. This has 3 forms. The first is an imperative. A directive text can sound like this. Hand me the paper. That is an imperative. But when we use it in another form, which is a polite question, we could say, would you hand me that paper? Another form of a directive text could be a suggestive remark. Instead of saying, hand me that paper, you would say, I wonder what the paper says about the weather today. That is not a direct imperative. That is not even a polite question. We consider that as a suggestive remark. You always have to remember that in directive text, you make use of imperatives, or mostly action words. One example is when we drink medicine. Before drinking, we have to carefully read first the instructions indicated on the medicine box, right? Some examples are shake well before using. Or sometimes you would read, do not ingest with alcohol. And then we always watch out for take 1 tablespoonful before lunch. So these are just common examples of text types under directive text. Do you now understand? Number 4, we have expository text. Once we deal with expository text, mainly this is to identify or characterize a phenomena. It has 2 forms. First is a subjective expository text. Second one is an objective expository text. Under subjective, we commonly have essays. Let's say your teacher asked you to write an essay about bullying. Then you will identify and characterize the phenomena, which is bullying. This is subjective simply because it is only based on your previous knowledge about the topic. Next, if the expository text is objective type, these are summaries, teacher's explications, or definitions. You have to remember that an expository text has 3 purposes. First is to explain. Second is to inform. And the third is to describe. Let us now try to identify and characterize the word text. If we use text under subjective form, we may say that texts are words in a printed material which can be both written and spoken. But then, if we use it under the objective form, we have to have our fact. Example is, in linguistics, texts are original words of something written, printed, or spoken. These 2 identification and characterization may seem or may sound different because they were written in 2 different forms. But still, they are under the same expository text. Do you now get the idea? Other examples of an expository text could be a description, procedure, sequence, comparison, cause and effect explanation, or problem-solving explanations. Is it now clear? If yes, then let us now discuss the last text type. For number 5, we have an argumentative text. An argumentative text aims to change the reader's belief. It only has one purpose, and that is to persuade. If you are an author trying to write an argumentative text, you have to try and persuade your readers that an object or a product or maybe an idea is in some way better than the others. I have here 3 examples. First is an advertisement of a new product launched in the market. Second is an essay discussing arguments about economical issues. And then the last one is a political speech of a senatorial candidate. If you try reading these examples I have given you, they may appear like they are different because they have different content. But then, if you try rereading, you will see that they only have one goal, and that is to make their readers believe that the product, or the argument, or they themselves as a candidate is by far the best choice. And there you have it. We're done discussing today's topic, which is text types. Remember that a text type depends on purpose, structure, and language features. There are 5 major text types, namely narrative text, descriptive text, directive text, expository text, and argumentative text. I hope you have learned something in today's video lesson. And to test your learning, I have attached a link with this instructional video. That will serve as your quiz for today's discussion. Also, a copy of this video will be sent to your Facebook page. If you have questions or inquiries, you may reach me directly via Facebook. That's www.facebook.com/kai.gludo. You may also send me an email. That's kaila.gludo@deped.gov.ph. You may also send me a text message or call me. That's 0936-551-1909 or 0936-162-5089. In behalf of the English department, we'll try and create more videos exclusively for you guys. I hope you have enjoyed our first discussion. Thank you for watching. Adios.